everybody, this is Captain Fred, your host for Aviation Theater, and a proud member of the San Diego Aerospace Museum, the first place to visit when you come to San Diego. We have a good program for you today, and we'll get started right after this important message. In San Diego, California, an angel flies down from the sky to teach aviation to the Girl Scouts. She is Ana Camberos Province, a licensed pilot with a Phi Beta Kappa key. She holds the Girl Scout Spirit Award, the 99's President's Award, the Channel 10 Leadership Award, and has been named Outstanding Role Model by the San Diego Unified School District. Ana created the Aerospace Badge Workshops, and with the help of other dedicated women pilots, she introduces aviation to 150 Girl Scouts at a time in her hangar at Gillespie Airport. They teach ground school, women in aviation, space, and pre-flight maintenance of aircraft to the enthusiastic students. This is Ana Camberos Province, a woman with wings.
Mainly, there are 5 parts in an aeroplane. Okay, will be the fuselage, this area over here. Then will be the empennage. This is the empennage where the tail is. Then the wings. This is the power plant. And last, the landing gears. This one doesn't have landing gears, but this one has landing gears. Okay? So now you know the 5 parts of an aeroplane.
Ana teaches the principles of air pressure in her ground school class. Running, the paper stays in place. Standing still, it falls.
Yes. There. Okay? Go ahead. Put in your chin right here and up. Put your hand up. Look at that. Harder. Hey, that's what happened with a wing. This.
A straw demonstrates low pressure.
You know what is this? This goes inside. Oh, I have many hands here. Who has not? Pitch is either down or up. That's a pitch. To demonstrate
Ana
to us,
teaches the 4 forces of flight. They are
flight.
Thrust, lift,
During flight,
drag,
there are 4
and
forces
weight.
that
Elliptical. Straight. Stepper. Sweep back. And
this little girl is going to be the pilot. Okay, so this little girl is going to be my pilot today. Now, my pilot needs to know how she's going to load the aeroplane.
This woman pilot we call Jay. She will introduce herself and tell you her full name.
My name is Mikhaila Halichkova.
And we call her Jay for short. Jay, would you tell our viewers when and where and how and why you became a woman pilot?
Well, actually, I got my first airplane ride here at the Gillespie Field Open House back in '92 in a little Piper Pacer. It was a 10-minute ride around the airport, and it got me hooked. And I knew about the aviation program at Morse High School, so I went there and got about 85 hours, and I soloed and did a lot of cross country, and unfortunately didn't get my license at Morse, but then I stumbled upon a scholarship, the Charles Cordell Aviation Scholarship at my Civil Air Patrol Squadron, and I was able to finish my license.
You're obviously in the Civil Air Patrol, and you have silver bars on your shoulder. That
Yes.
means you're a first lieutenant.
That's right.
Would you tell our viewers why that you're giving up your weekends to come out here and teach the aerospace badge to the Girl Scouts?
Well, I got my license through all these different programs, you know, like Morse and people that volunteered, the Charles Cardell. I mean, that was all donated money, donated airplanes, donated fuel, and this is something I just need to give back. I got interested because of somebody taking their time to give me a ride or to introduce me to aviation, and I feel I'm doing the same thing. And it's important to get the message across to girls that they can fly too, because generally girls, I don't think girls see that. They think, oh, that's a guy thing, but it's not. I think the UPS says there's only like 1% people that are, 1% pilots that are women, and that's not enough. So I'm hoping I can change that.
Very good. Lieutenant J of the Civil Air Patrol. This is Elizabeth Eldridge, one of the women pilots who helps with the seminars. She's an attorney and a licensed pilot. And Elizabeth, would you tell our viewers when and how and why and where and all that stuff? Why did you become a pilot?
I'd be delighted to, Captain Fred. Approximately 2 years ago, I got my private pilot's license from Montgomery Field, which is about 10 miles due west of this field here at Gillespie. I learned in a plane very similar to the one we're standing in front of, a high-wing Cessna 152. I did my first solo at Brownfield, which is south of our airport here, also in San Diego County. After 20 years of practicing law, I decided it would be a good time to do something different that I had always wanted to do. And when I had the opportunity to get my license, I went for it.
Good. Now, tell our viewers why on Saturdays, instead of sitting at home with a movie magazine and a box of chocolates, you're out here at Gillespie Airport giving your time and energy and efforts to the Girl Scout Aerospace Badge.
Well, I was very privileged when Anna Provence asked me to participate in the Girl Scout seminar, which she has put together with a lot of hard work over the years. And since I had the knowledge and she asked me to teach the history of women in aviation, I took the opportunity of doing it. And it was a very grand experience, and I thought it was important to do. The Girl Scouts of today are the future women pilots of tomorrow, and it was my privilege to be able to encourage them and teach them a little bit about the history of women in aviation.
Very good. Elizabeth Eldridge. Our next woman pilot is Marge Barrett, and she's going to tell you when and where and how she became a woman pilot.
Well, where, when, and why. 3 years ago, almost, I started my lessons over at a local school here. Had my lessons there, and my instructor taught me how to take off and fly around a bit. Then he left to get a real job. So then I found another flight instructor, independent flight instructor. He wasn't associated with any schools. And then he taught me how to really fly the plane, control the plane, do my cross countries. And it took me a long time because I couldn't fly as often as most people do. You know, I could only go a couple of times a month. So that takes quite a while when you take, that long. But I finally did it.
Very good.
My husband also gave me those as a gift. I have to say that. That was a gift for me.
Tell our viewers why you're sharing your wings with the Girl Scouts.
Well, Fred, when I was a girl, I was a Brownie and a Girl Scout. So I know firsthand how important it is for the merit badges. I know how hard they have to work and people have to help them get it. I also know the joy of receiving it. So when Anna first asked me to be a helper at her Girl Scout seminar for aviation badges, I agreed to do it one time only. However, after the weekend session ended, I was so excited and hooked on it, I wanted to continue to promote aviation.
Isn't it refreshing?
Yes. And I especially wanted to help the little girls, because my dream started as a little girl, and I waited 50 years for my dream to come true. So I also wanted the girls to know that if they have a dream, no matter what the dream is, if they want to fly, become a pilot, become a doctor, become a mother, anything they ever want to be, an astronaut, to hang on to that dream and keep pursuing it, because I believe if you dream it, it can happen. And if you pursue it, it will happen. So that's why I wanted to do this for the girls. But I also wanted them to know that to keep that dream, because like I said, it took me 50 years. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get your dream, just keep going and going and dreaming, and it'll happen. Now, the Girl Scouts, when you go to the seminar and you see the girls, see an airplane take off for the first time up close. Most of them have never had any indication, any kind of, mix up with general aviation. So this is all new to them. So when you see their faces, when they see the plane take off for the first time, it's a real joy.
Especially with a woman at the controls.
Exactly. Well, yes. But there you go. And then when they're introduced to the female pilots that are part of the team, and they learn about the airplane, the wonder of wonders on their face is just an excitement. Now, in the seminar, I teach about astronauts, especially the women astronauts, and they are just amazed that there's so many female astronauts. And then when we talk about Ellen Ochoa, they really get excited because Ellen is a local gal, and so the girls can really relate to it. So that's about it. I just love it. I just love to watch the girls.
Very good. Thank you. Marge Barrett, woman pilot. We're with Leslie Day, woman pilot. Leslie, would you tell our viewers when and where you learned to fly?
I actually learned to fly in two places, one at Willow Run Airport in Michigan.
Which is a famous name.
Yes, it's known for the building of the B-24 bombers during World War II. And I also learned to fly here at Golden State Flying Club at Gillespie Airport in El Cajon, California.
And was it a transition or an advanced lesson? What did you do here in California?
Actually, I learned to fly tricycle-geared aircraft like Cessna 152, Cessna 172s, and Archers.
So you got your license in Michigan in a tail dragger?
Yes, I inherited a PT-19, which is a Ryan primary trainer from World War II, and a dear friend of mine taught me how to fly in that aircraft.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yes.
You know, you're a very rare person. There are very few people who have the honor of learning to fly in a Ryan trainer.
That's true. I see it as a big honor, and it's a lot of fun to be in an open cockpit aircraft.
Then you came out here to Gillespie
Yes.
and made the transition to tricycle landing gear.
That's correct.
Tell our viewers why you're giving up your weekends to come out here to the airport and work with Girl Scouts.
Well, one of the things is I love flying. It's in my heart and my soul, and I believe it's important to share that with young girls and young gals, young women in the Girl Scout program. And there's very few women who are willing to give up their time to teach that.
There are also very few women who are licensed pilots.
That's correct. There's very few.
Who have that talent to offer.
That's correct. And so I wanted to be a part of that. I enjoy volunteering my time and doing things for young gals to shape and mold their future.
Is it inspirational to see the Girl Scouts?
Absolutely. I get a lot of joy. These young gals, their whole faces light up when they see the inside of an aircraft or learn how it flies. It makes a big difference to them, and there's quite a few that go on and actually want to learn how to fly from trying to achieve their merit badges for aviation.
I also noticed that at the end of each session, a lot of them come and ask you for autographs.
That's correct. It's kind of fun. It's an honor for them to come up and ask for our autographs, and those of us who volunteer are happy to give it to them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leslie Day, woman pilot.
The thing that I liked the best was going into the airplanes, and I like to learn about the how to flying airplanes and all the things that are inside of the airplanes. And I liked going up high because I love climbing things and I love going up high, so I like looking up in the sky and seeing all the airplanes going around. I like the aviation program because we got to meet pilots and we got to see old planes, and I like to learn about the history of the planes and how the American women or the other women, how they made their way to winning the races. The thing I like best about the Aviation Badge Workshop is, I think, going into the airplanes, because it was neat to see all the different controls and compasses and stuff like that. And I think the thing that I liked second best was going up into the control tower, because I haven't been in high places very many times. And even though I'm a little bit afraid of heights, it's neat to go up high sometimes. And we got to see all the planes landing and taking off.
The part that I liked best was seeing the biplanes and learning about the engines and stuff. And we got to go into the control tower and we got to see airplanes and stuff, and it was really neat.
What I liked best was the museum because I learned a lot of stuff about the old-time planes and about how they work, and I liked going in the museum and looking at all the interesting stuff.
Arriving at the control tower at Gillespie Airport, the Girl Scouts make a line to go 7 stories up to visit a woman air traffic controller. The girls go to the top of the tower on an elevator. They enjoy riding the elevator better than climbing 7 flights of stairs. Here, in what she calls her penthouse office, Karen Shipman enjoys talking with the next generation of women pilots. She also tells them about the many other opportunities in aviation for women. They include aviation mechanic, weather specialist, radio technician, and airport administration, in addition to being a pilot. These are the faces of the young women who will fill these occupations in the years to come. Anna, Marge, Leslie, Jay, and Elizabeth like to say, Girl Scouts today, women pilots tomorrow. And that won't happen by accident. The Girl Scout leaders and the women pilots working together make that happen. Here, Karen tells the girls about filing flight plans, ground control, flight traffic, ATIS, Unicom, instrument flights, flight forwarding, and the many other responsibilities she has as an air traffic controller.
Okay, this airplane was built in 1929, and it was built by several people who built modern airplanes today, passenger airplanes like the Beech family, the Cessna family, etc. And this airplane was loaned to a lady named Louise Thaden by Walter Beech, and she competed in the women's first air derby race, which went from Santa Monica, California, all the way across the United States to Cleveland, Ohio. And Louise Thaden won the race. Now, do you guys know anything about Jackie Cochran? Jackie Cochran really should be a lot more famous than Amelia Earhart. Jackie Cochran at one time held more world records than any woman or man in aviation history. She broke the sound barrier. She won all kinds of races. The woman was absolutely incredible. She also started the Women's Air Service Pilots called the WASPs. This airplane is a 1932 Great Lakes, and this is one of the longest production airplanes in history. In other words, it was made longer than any other airplane in history. And this particular one, of course, 1932. They started, I think, in 1928, and the company went broke several times, and I think even now there's somebody out there trying to resurrect it to build them again with more modern engines in them.
We salute Bill Allen for opening his hangar to the Girl Scouts. He is a leader in the aviation community, and we appreciate his cooperation and support. We also thank Mr. Pliers, who looked very familiar somehow. The girls all had an educational and entertaining look at the aviation memorabilia. The smiles tell the story. The Girl Scouts also visit the San Diego Aerospace Museum hangar. In addition to the museum in Balboa Park, there is also a hangar, classrooms, and a model shop at Gillespie Airport. It is open to the public Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., and it is free. The girls see many historic aircraft that have been restored to like-new condition by the museum staff and a host of dedicated and talented volunteers. Both the museum in Balboa Park and the restoration hangar at Gillespie Airport are administered by Alan Palmer, the executive director. Here, the girls see a home-built airplane being assembled for flight. The pilot keeps this Mini-Max plane in a trailer at home instead of renting a hangar at an airport. He built the airplane out of wood and fabric, and he flies it on weekends.
My name's Carol Gase. I have a 5th grade junior troop, 6396. We're at the Aerospace Badge Workshop given by Anna Province. This weekend and last weekend we've been learning about planes, learning about the women who fly the planes, astronauts. It's been very educational and informative, and my girls have absolutely loved it.
This is Kathy Amar. My Girl Scout troop is 6761. And we're from Lemon Grove Service Unit, and we are really excited to be able to be a part of this Aerospace Badge seminar this weekend. We've been here this weekend and last weekend. I can't tell you how much the girls have learned and enjoyed these women sharing what they do, and it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Good morning. We're at Gillespie Field. My name is Letha Cooksey. I have a Girl Scout troop, 3399 from San Diego. We're out here at the airfield at the Aerospace Museum, where Anna Province and her husband Captain Fred have graciously donated their time to the Girl Scouts to work on the Aerospace Badge. The girls have had a wonderful time learning about aviation, women in aviation, and today we'll be flying our paper airplanes. Once again, thank you to all the women who've donated their time.
Aviation Theater salutes Marge Barrett, Leslie Day, Lieutenant J, Elizabeth Eldridge, and Ana, Camberos Province.